is clicking right now for the Gators. That's a grown man's jam. Oh, parachuting in. The Gators have recaptured the lead. The Gators are going to the Final Four. Oh, Martin with a signature slam. It's over. Florida is back on top of the college basketball world. Championship madness.
Special run that was for Florida last year. Remember, they were down 12 in the second half. Only school in D1 with 3 basketball and football national titles. They lose their top 4 guards. Remember, Clayton, Richard, Martin. But that front court comes back looking strong. Everybody returns, including Condon, the All-American. They bring in Boogie Flan from Arkansas, who's healthy now. Xavier Lee from the Ivy, that is Princeton. And they are trying to figure out how they're going to assemble this new squad. Here are our games tonight. Arizona, 13th in the country. Florida, 3rd in the country. And then following it, the nightcap, Nova, the Cats with a new coach in Willard, taking on Debansa and the NIL powerhouse that has become BYU at 9:30. But we always focus on the champs. You got to beat the man to be the man. Florida, they lose their guards, Coach. The front court is there. How much confidence do you have in these guards adjusting and picking up where they need to?
I worry about injuries. I mean, Boogie Flan had that right thumb injury last year for Arkansas, missed a lot of the end of the season.
Yes.
He had a sports hernia injury this summer. He's going to play, but he's not 100%, and I just don't know they're very deep. Last year, we played them twice. They beat us twice. They were bigger, stronger, and they were just loaded on the front line. But those 3 guards all got drafted into the NBA. Okay, 60% of the scoring.
And they're all on rosters right now.
They're all on rosters. They're all playing really, really well. So the question is, can these two, we're going to say all season long, especially early, how these guys play, how they play together is going to go a long way to whether or not Florida can repeat. Florida's defense improved a great deal last season, and that was the key to the championship run.
You mentioned the departures. Denzel Aberdeen, he was the 6th man supposed to step in. He transfers to Kentucky. He got a nice little payday. So it will be some adjustment. What do we like, Mash, about the front court of Florida from what you saw last year and the guys returning?
Well, I think, first of all, you just throw it up on the rim and they're going to go get it, defensively and offensively. And that's where I think those little guards and Boogie Flan, New York City kid out of Stepinac, which, I'm in love with New York City guards. And also the kid Lee from Princeton. He's a playmaker, but I think what they have at their disposal is they can get into the lane, make a play. They got bigs to dump it off in the dunker spot, and then also they can spray it out and shoot threes as well. I'm not really concerned about injuries as far as, because I've had a sports hernia. He's going to recover from that. I think he's explosive enough. He can get by people. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to repeat because none of those guys have been in the process where they're the hunted now.
And Arizona is really the part of the toughest non-conference schedule. They got Arizona, Duke, UConn. They will be tested. Other side, Arizona. We don't see this often from Tommy Lloyd's teams, but they're going to have to play some freshmen, and they got 2 of them that are unbelievable. The name Pete stuck out to me because in my time covering the NFL, his older brother is Andrus Pete, a Pro Bowl offensive lineman, and this kid is 7'2".
Wow.
The genes in the Pete family are crazy, but it's going to be a freshman focus for Arizona.
It'll be a freshman focus, but senior-led with Bradley and Awanka leading the way. But again, and as we go back to the Florida conversation, I want to tap back into that because I got a chance to go to the Final Four when they were playing against Bruce Pearl and watch those 3 guards and how effective they were because of their maturity. And that's where I'm going with Arizona.
Right.
If you watch any team that plays really well in the NCAA tournament, usually they have great guard play.
Correct.
And so that's what's going to be at task for Arizona this year.
So Tommy Lloyd always has a top 11 offense in the 4 seasons he's been there. And you know these coaches well, including the coach Todd Golden, who was working for you for years. And we already have some gamesmanship for the game tonight.
Well, here's what's happened. Florida's played 2 private scrimmages against Florida International and Illinois. You do not have to give tape out on any of that. Arizona has played 2 games on TV. So Florida's got to look at a couple of games. And now Todd Golden could have sent a tape to Tommy Lloyd, but he didn't have to. And he didn't. So we already got a little bit of bad blood heading right into our opening matchup.
If you're a coach, is this something you're in the locker room, it's kind of fired you up a little bit?
There's no question. That's something that coaches say, hey, man, we should have gotten that tape. They wouldn't give us that tape. And so Tommy will use that. The biggest thing for me with Florida is the front line versatility. That kid Hoke, he can guard anybody.
Right.
Alex Condon can guard anybody. And so I think Florida's going to start as big as they possibly can. They want to watch for both teams are good in transition. Both teams are a great rebounding team. Which team can score in the half court in this game? I think that's the team that's going to win. Who shoots it better in half court and who executes better in the half court? Because they're both great rebounding teams and they're both great in transition.
Coach, how does it reflect the relationship between Golden and Lloyd going forward when you purposely don't give me the tape on the other team? That doesn't end after tonight's game.
No.
So how does that go? How does that relationship happen going forward?
No, I tell you what, let's just take it out on the court. At the end of the day, when you guys had a squab with somebody, let's just take it out on the court. Let's take it on the playground, right? Take it on the playground and harm them a few times.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing. They're going to take it out on each other tonight in Vegas.
Ooh.
Home court advantage for Arizona, though, because it's really close to Arizona.
Yeah.
So watch out for the home court
Cal
advantage.
North, absolutely. Happy first day of college basketball to all you celebrate. We celebrate at TNT. Vince is digging it. Arizona, Florida, minutes away on TNT. Take it on the court. Can we get a Golden versus Lloyd one-on-one?